Now, let's see what this is. We're going through the gate that... Oh. In the beginning there.
Entering system. Watchful gaze.
Preliminary scans indicate that this system is uninhabited. No sign of boron or any other kind of life, biological or artificial.
This cannot be true. Are you certain that the sensors are not malfunctioning? It has been so long. I really thought this might be the day I finally reconnect with my kin of the Fin.
Take heart, Boron Exile. You may yet be a step closer to your reunion. Explorer, we need some detailed system mapping. The task is in your hands. There is much to learn here.
System mapping. What am I doing? I'm exploring. Nothing? Okay then. Vanguard is deploying stuff. Velvet Thunder. You should be able to protect yourself. Go here and explore.
Data has identified some points of potential interest. We are having trouble locking on to exact locations at this range. See if you can pinpoint them for us.
Empty space.
Okay. Is that so?
Unknown object.
Unknown object. What is that then? Am I gonna get blown out of the sky? Derelict ship.
Oh my! Could that be?
By the Trinity, a Boron vessel.
My instinct says we should take a closer look.
Okay. Sorry, but it looks very destroyed. It is rather large, though.
Your ship's sensors are picking up a weak energy signature amongst the debris. Assistant, I think you should suit up and investigate.
By the elevator? Well, it looks very cool. There's an entrance there. Alright. Let's do this.
Corral Kami. Derelict ship.
Is this a battleship or something? Looks large enough. That's not how you get in, apparently. Oh hell, am I gonna do 0G navigation inside an unknown ship? Prepare the panel. Select the container.
Container.
How do I collect it?
Decryption and reconstruction algorithm. The data is woefully incomplete, but it appears that this was an outpost of some manner. There are signs of an attack from several directions. It seems that the operators would have had little, if any, time to react. How frustratingly peculiar. I am forwarding all of this to our esteemed expedition commander. Perhaps he can garner more clues. I have my doubts, though.
Now, where's my ship?
Humankind, sir? Our team confirms that the Heretics End Gate does indeed contain the coordinates to the Kingdom End system.
Kingdom End?
Timing cannot be coincidental, can it? Just after we received word from the Boron? Is it possible that their experiments were somehow related to the gate reinitialization?
Coordinates and timing are relevant, but not conclusive. The fact of the matter is that this is definitely not Kingdom End. Interstellar messenger drones are not the fastest form of communication. We do not know what has occurred on the Boron side since their last message. Theoretically, a connection between the two gates is possible, but that is just a theory. It
Well.
could well be that the systems were linked in the distant past.
Yes. Unfortunately, a theoretical compatibility does not mean much in itself. If activating or reprogramming these gates were easy,
Mineral,
I'm certain I
ignored.
would have overcome the challenges long ago.
The split didn't exactly give you a choice over your research focus. Could this be the Boron? Could they really have unlocked jump gate technology?
Perhaps. Perhaps not. At this point, any further hypotheses will be mere speculation. Until we have more evidence, keep your ideas off general comms. If you must elaborate your theories, feel free to put them in writing.
Hold on. I think I am picking up. Oh no, never mind that. Nothing of interest here. This system's peculiar conditions make getting accurate readings rather troublesome.
Explorer, you have an unidentified ship on an intercept trajectory. This is our first contact in the newly opened network. We have no idea of who they are, or their intentions. Investigate, and if possible, make contact, but maintain vigilance.
Oh, hi. Aliens. Please, do not be afraid. I shall disengage my armament.
It is a Boron.
I am so pleased to make your acquaintance.
Incredible! Finally, contact with our aquatic allies. Bosota, are you receiving this?
One moment, please. I am just finishing up some calculations.
What did you say? A boron? Truly? A living, buoyant boron? Are my ocular sensor organs deceiving me? Allow me to introduce myself. I am Bosota, and I can barely recall another boron face. I have been riven from my people for that long. Will you please deign to share your time with me?
I am E13, adventurer extraordinaire. I would be delighted to spend time with you.
As appointed delegate of the Alliance of the Word, please allow me to extend my greetings to you and your people. It is an honor to make your acquaintance, E13.
I do not have any official capacity as such, but it is marvelous to be seeing actual people from beyond the disconnected gates. How did
Wow.
you get here? Has a gate reopened? Are we connected once more? Oh, I knew it would have to happen eventually. What joyous news!
Momentous news indeed. Although we're less than clear on how this has occurred. There was speculation that the Boron triggered the gate reinitialization. Messages from your scientists indicated that they were working on such a task. Please, can you direct us towards Kingdom End?
You were in contact with Kingdom End? That is marvelous news. It has been decades since we were cut off. We have heard nothing in all that time. The severing of the connection with Nishala has been indescribably distressing for all of us.
My system is
Well-
in profound turmoil. To meet a fellow Boron after all these years is an incandescent joy. But to find that you, too, are cut off from the homeworld is a misery.
More than you know, Bosotar. We have all mourned this loss.
But without access to Kingdom End, your Queen and Parliament, how do you govern yourselves?
After the severance, there was a period of chaos, until a royal steward was appointed. I have had dealings with him. It would be my pleasure to make an introduction.
We must make haste. There is much to be discussed with your leadership.
Awaiting orders.
Follow me, you cavalcade of curious creatures.
Alright, so the Boron. You are gonna feel shortages.
A Boron society not headed by a queen? This is somewhat hard to fathom.
Indeed, Bosotar. From your own experience, you understand the pain of separation. I doubt other species appreciate the biological depth of our harmonious societal interconnection. It was worse than it is now. It used to be that all our systems were isolated. Severed, not just from Kingdom End, the Queen, and Homeworld Nishla, but also from each other. Fortunately, several of our systems reconnected to each other eventually, but none received word from home. Reorganization became a necessity. The provinces adrift, as we call ourselves, were only ever intended to be temporary, but under the Royal Steward, it has grown into a comprehensive governing body. But some of us have never given up on Kingdom End. Your communication with the homeworld is momentous in the extreme. Not a soul in these systems has found evidence of where the Kingdom End even still exists.
Piranha.
So, where are they?
Goodness. A Commonwealth ship. Surely this indicates that our reports are correct. The once dormant gate has indeed resumed its function and brought our province into alignment with our erstwhile allies. You must realize what this means. All the resources of the Commonwealth are now within reach. At long last, a chance to end the shortages.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up the pace.
They look very
I
organic.
must warn you, the provinces adrift are not awash with the luxuries of the Old Kingdom. The pain of severance has been constant, but our economy has also suffered. The shortages of essential goods have cut deeply. Reconnection with the network may alleviate some of these issues, at least.
So the Boron home systems. And you know what? You can screw that and explore this instead.
E13, you bring us guests, outsiders, with a fleet no less. What have you been up to?
More than that, Royal Steward, I bring momentous news. The fleet, this Paranid-led fleet, it came from the dormant gate in watchful gaze. They have communicated with Kingdom End. They have no Kingdom End gate, but they have communication. We are connected to the network once more.
My word, if...
The delegation seeks an audience. May I?
Yes, of course. There is so much to discuss, so much to consider.
Royal Steward, would it be in order for me to accompany the delegation?
I'm sure you have other things to do. Diplomacy is not the same thrill as exploration.
Please, Royal Steward, with your permission.
Of course, Neela-T. By all means, accompany the delegation.
Explorer, you have displayed some usefulness thus far. I'm tasking you with joining us in meeting the Royal Steward. I may have need of your insights.
You have clearly made an impression on the expedition commander. I sense you are becoming more central to his plans. Join the delegation. Watch this Royal Steward. I have some experiments to attend to, though I shall keep an eye on you.
Guppy. Docking not possible.
Well, how do I...
Comms channel open.
No.
Goodbye.
Alright. You warped through the... How did you warp through it?
Sir. Kurao Kami. Guppy. Docking granted.
Docking is over there. I really need to get a ship with that has a frigate on board.
My ropalium near explodes with the joy of welcoming esteemed visitors. This historic occasion is the first of its kind. I am Lena V, Royal Steward of the Provinces Adrift. On behalf of Her Majesty the Queen, and as her loyal servant, it is my profound pleasure to welcome an emissary of the Paranid Empire. And once business is out of the way, I insist you join me on a more informal tour.
Okay.
Esteemed Royal Steward Lita Wee, thank you for your most gracious welcome. You must forgive me. I, Numunkaret, am no Empire emissary. I represent the Alliance of the Word, a diplomatic forum and scientific organization funded by various races across the network.
My. But do you have letters patent from the Empire? The provinces adrift are in dire straits. We must negotiate terms of assistance.
I'm compelled to reiterate, I do not speak for the Paranid authorities. We do bring news which may bring joy. We have been in communication with Kingdom End. Limited fragile communication, but communication nevertheless. Some months ago, we received word from your homeworld. It was heartening to discover that the Boron core has survived the shutdown, and learn of their most ambitious endeavor. Their entire scientific resources are focused on understanding and manipulating jump gate technology. We humbly request your permission to investigate the dormant jump gates in your territory, and to set up a scientific outpost in the region, should that be required.
There are so many implications to consider. This really is momentous. I am afraid I must decline your request, for now. We cannot be precipitous.
By the glistening waters of Nishala!
I fail to understand. We ask for no more than your permission. We certainly have no wish to be a drain on your resources.
Leader We, they are trying to connect us with Kingdom End. They have communications.
Neela T, this obsession with finding home is entirely yours. You may have the luxury of gallivanting around the galaxy in search of miracles, but I have responsibilities. I have the welfare of billions of souls to consider. Our guests have already made clear that the outside network, with all its resources, has been unable to connect with our homeworld. The priority at this juncture is the welfare of our people, and I shall not be distracted from that.
Honored host, we will of course expedite communications with the governments of the network. I'm sure emissaries are preparing as we speak. Yet, if we could simply...
Enough, please. I understand your request, but I do not think you understand what is at stake. Please have patience, but for now, the matter is settled.
Outrageous! The Boron Queen's government itself is racing to reconnect, and you decline to facilitate? What kind of royal steward are you?
Please?
There is nothing to be gained from trading insults.
This is absurd. Our work is of the utmost importance. Your obduracy is beyond me. I shall take my leave.
Okay.
That certainly could have gone better, but all may not be lost.
Alright. Crew quarters.
The steward and I have had our differences in the past, but I had no idea he would be so stubborn. I am so very sorry you had to witness that embarrassingly discordant display. Later we and I disagree on much, but he is not a bad person. You know, he is just... scared.
Scared. Okay. So you're afraid of them?
I think. He is scared of falling short. He carries the weight of the expectations of the entire provinces. He wants to keep everyone safe, and I think he fears that your expedition will exacerbate an already dangerous situation.
A dangerous situation?
Yes, fraught with danger. The provinces lie uncomfortably close to Kark territory. When Sanctuary of Darkness first connected to the provinces, it triggered regular attacks. We barely managed to protect ourselves with the meager military that we could cobble together. Thankfully, the waves have calmed for now. The Kark incursions eventually ceased. All attempts to communicate with these enigmatic creatures have failed, so I would hesitate to call it a ceasefire. It is more of a lull in hostilities. As you can imagine, the situation remains rather fragile. Oh! You took note of that, did you? Time after time I approach Leader Weave for the resources to find our way back home, but he has come to the conclusion that efforts spent on this endeavor come at an immediate cost to our people. I would hate for you to get the impression that I do not care for my fellow Boron here. Out on the fringes, I am truly seeking to make a difference for the people. Serving the Queen's subjects is a duty for me. You see, I do not like to draw too much attention to it, but I myself am the progeny of stranded minor royals. Before you bow or anything like that, I am not part of the direct line of succession, and that is not how our monarchy works in any case. Yet, it drives me to find a path back home, for the people to once again delight in a reunited, merry realm.
Okay. Well,
Yes, fraught with danger.
That
Provinces
same-
lie uncomfortably close to Kark territory. When pleasant travels.
don't know what to think about this. More squids.
Who does this fool think he is? Does he not understand the gravity of our mission? Withholding his consent? We shall continue without it if necessary.
Patience towards the close-minded.
You may have a
Yeah.
point. Perhaps his simple mind cannot grasp all the variables at play. I wonder if we can help him to see the bigger picture. Yes, you are right. That much is obvious. I cannot help but wonder if there's more to the issue than that. Perhaps he is overly attached to his role as Prime Administrator of the provinces. A reunion with King Dement would inevitably result in him having to relinquish power and standing. Ah, I understand. He is worried that our presence will stir up an infestation of the Chitterers. The Alliance of the Word is certainly prepared to provide assurances that our investigation will not leave him exposed to Ka'ak attacks.
Well done. Why didn't you say so?
Ah, the silent one from our disappointing introduction.
Disappointing. You alright?
I regret my approach at our meeting. You see, I have not hosted a diplomatic function in decades. Unfortunately, I am simply not in the habit of communicating with anyone other than Boron. You see, we Boron converse amongst ourselves, relying on complex structures of pheromones, not just mere words. There was so
Okay.
much to communicate, so much to cogitate upon, yet the words failed to convey my meaning. You must imagine it like painting an ocean, yet having only a single shade of blue with which to do so. You are correct, of course. There is no harm in reaching for common ground. I am embarrassed to say that our defensive capabilities are woefully inadequate. Ashamedly so. Our economy is so fractured. We struggle to construct anything larger, perhaps, than a frigate. We cannot even resource and operate a full-scale shipyard. For half a century of isolation, we Boron have had little need for a comprehensive military. I fear that we are wholly unprepared for the myriad dangers lurking beyond the gate. And should word spread of the valuable equipment and facilities proposed by the Alliance of the Word, it might be akin to painting a target upon ourselves for any nefarious actors in the vicinity. One moment. I have, even now, received word of split incursions. If we had anything of value to loot, we would not be discussing skirmishes. They would descend upon us in hordes. From time to time, I spend the waking nights pondering the very same question. It would be misleading to cast blame for all our miseries on the Great Shutdown. In fact, when we were first riven from the wider network, the vast majority of our Boron systems remained connected between themselves. Isolated from external threats, we commenced a new age of reflection and scientific endeavor. And while this period of peace brought the wealth of Kingdom N to fabulous new heights, we were not complacent. Resources were stockpiled throughout the Queendom, a precautionary measure. Oh, we thought we were prepared. Yet in truth, we were far from it. We Boron are inherently connected to each other, you see? We thrive on a collective sort of innate affinity. Once that connection was severed, each system found itself in complete isolation. Things fell apart quite quickly, I'm afraid to say. Productivity collapsed catastrophically. Stockpiles were depleted far more rapidly than anticipated, and there was no way to replenish them. After years of disarray, Great Reef finally reconnected with barren shores. Later, it was joined by several other systems. The provinces adrift were founded, but by then the damage was done. We still lacked crucial resources. I contend that it was the collective psychological toll of the severance that caused this, more so than the evident logistical challenges posed by the shutdown. Ah, the silent one from our disappointing introduction. I am fully aware of E13's royal connections. Is it your opinion of me that I am some petty functionary who can be bought and sold, bribed by the highest bidder? You misjudge me, and you misjudge E13. For all our disagreements, I cannot conceive that she would be party to such a grubby approach. Of course I desire the return of the provinces adrift to the warm embrace of the homeworld. But what kind of servant would I be if I did so at the expense of the welfare of those under my charge?
Okay. Well, I have two destroyers. Is that enough?
Permanently?
Is that enough?
Wiping them out is your solution? To simply exterminate a species? I understood that you entered our provinces in pursuit of scientific enlightenment, not bloodshed.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You casually countenance atrocities as though they were insignificant. Were you brainwashed by the militants of Sol? No, thank you. If we can maintain peace, we shall do so. I find no reassurance in your words, only distaste. My principal concern is the welfare of the Boron of the provinces. Your expedition will expose them to needless jeopardy.
Leader Wee, this is Numankaret. You have underestimated both the influence of the Alliance of the Word and the importance to the network of reconnecting with Kingdom End. As we speak, our representatives are in conference with our allies. The agenda is how, and indeed whether, there should be trade with the provinces adrift. Your ludicrous obstruction leaves me no choice but to twist your arms. Fins. If your colony is your priority, then I hold the keys to unlock it.
Blackmail? You, Numankaret, are no scientist. You are a brigand and a charlatan. And yet, you leave me no choice but to accede to your dangerous demands. But mark my words, you have made no friends here in the provinces adrift. Someday, you may regret that. With the gate in Watchful Gaze reactivated, to our knowledge only 3 more dormant gates remain in province space. One is located in Ocean of Fantasy, another in Barren Shores. The final one was discovered by scouts in Sanctuary of Darkness. If Sanctuary of Darkness sounds foreboding, you may find that the name is fitting. It is host to a significant Ka'ak infestation. Urgh. Even uttering the name makes my fins tingle. Yet I must remain firm on the matter. Do not, under any circumstances, engage with the Ka'ak. Every interaction with them results in horrific conflict.
Well,
You have our word, Leader Wee. We shall do everything in our power to avoid undue provocation.
Thank you. And may I bestow upon you a gift? As a sign
Sure.
of goodwill to move past our altercation, we have prepared for you a fighter ship. A humble gift, but hopefully it will be of use to you in the times ahead.
Explorer, you have done well to secure access for us to continue our mission. Please, claim the scout ship as your own. Serve you well.
Well, I have a scout ship already. Okay. How do I even get in?
Unknown ship.
Oh.
Mako.
We need to investigate the dormant gates to formulate the next step of our expedition.
I am already familiar with the gate in Ocean of Fantasy.
And I'm stuck.
If you supply me with the necessary equipment and provide me with a few pointers as to what exactly I am to do, it would be my deepest pleasure to assist.
Excellent. The Alliance shall investigate barren shores. That only leaves the matter of the final gate, the location of which is somewhat more precarious. Explorer, you have excelled thus far. Put that new fighter of yours to good use, and find Sanctuary of Darkness. It seems that you are best suited to this task.
All the times I dreamt of being reunited with my fellow Boron, it never crossed my mind that they might be in such impoverished circumstances. I know that the Alliance has received communications from Kingdom End, but those were dispatched decades ago. Hopefully, they have fared better than the Boron here. I am curious about the contents of their message. Just how much of their preliminary findings have they shared with their Alliance counterparts? Once we have gained access to both gates' data, maybe the Alliance really intends to conduct experiments from our side.
Why are you?
Trying to manipulate gates would be an incredibly involved undertaking. Yet it seems as though Numankaret is single-minded about the whole endeavor. Can you imagine the possibilities that would be open to us if we could manipulate these gates at will?
Thanks to the newly opened trade routes, we have commenced rebuilding our shipyard. You are, of course, most welcome to aid us in our undertaking. Your efforts will, of course, be lucratively compensated.
Okay. I don't know why why they reset. You know what? Satellite there. Satellite there. Satellite there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Five.
Kurao Kami.